Welcome back, everyone. This is Annie. Today I'm going over a melting basket in Empties that is very old, so hopefully I can remember some of the details from this. I had pulled this for my birthday week in December of 2021, and it has been sitting on a shelf, and I keep meaning to film this, and now the in-laws are coming, and I'm trying to do the panic cleaning. So naturally, things that are on my to-do list to film are top priority, right? I, for this week, just wanted to pick a mixture of things that were holiday scents, because my birthday's right after Christmas, as well as things that maybe aren't naturally holiday scents, but are some of my favorites and things that people have given to me. So let's dive in. I will start with the things that I did not get a chance to melt this week. I kind of did a little organization before starting the video, and I'll go over those, but I'm not going to go into detail with those. I love sweater weather. Southbound has one of the best sweater weather oils, in my opinion. The addition of the sweet spearmint and dew just make this so pretty. I didn't get to melt that this week. And then this is Missouri River Soap Apple Cider Donuts. The scent notes are apple cider, sugar-coated fried donuts, cinnamon, and vanilla. Oh, I did not go over the scent notes for sweater weather. That is juniper berries, fresh eucalyptus, and sage with notes of woods, sweet spearmint, and dew. This is one of my all-time favorite scents. It is just such a great performer. It will last more than one day for me. And I'm very sad that this vendor has decided to close their doors recently. Holly is just such a wonderful person, and I love her products, so I'm going to miss her a great deal. But she's been doing this for a long time, and I guess is on to do something else. Anyways, I'm glad I still have some of this scent. It's still one of my favorites, and I had pulled this, but I didn't get a chance to melt it that week. This is Vintage Chic Scents, and this is Christmas Tree Cakes Ice Cream, and it's vanilla ice cream, yellow cake, vanilla buttercream, and a touch of green sprinkles. I didn't get to melt it this week either, but I pulled it mainly because I really love Christmas tree cakes, so much so that like my husband will pick them up if he sees them start showing up in stores, bring them back. I get really excited, and he calls me his little Christmas tree cake. It's a nickname he has. He has a ton of nicknames for me. Anyways, I've loved them ever since college, and that was the first time I had ever had one. And it just brings back all these magical memories. I know they're not like gourmet food or anything, but I still really enjoy them, and I was just so excited to get some of this scent. So I thought I would get to melt some of this that week, but it really hadn't had enough time to cure, and so I didn't. Now, this was sent to me by a friend, Crystal, Datwax Chick, on Instagram. We did a swap, and she sent me a box with so many goodies in it. And I just picked some of those from the box because I was really excited to try some of the things a friend had sent me. This is Rose Girls, and it's Ooey Gooey Pears. And I did not get a chance to melt this one, but I'm looking forward to, as we're going to be hitting fall soon. Oh, it still smells so good. I know some people don't like it because there is a very strong caramel butter note to it, but I just love the pear, and I'm really hoping that it performs well for me. It's just so good smelling. Just like a pear that's been baked and softened, and it's really sweet. And then there's this brown sugar, slightly mapley, buttery caramel that's drizzled over the top. It just smells so good. But I did not get to melt that week. I haven't melted it yet either, so I'll have to maybe stay tuned to other melting baskets. This is another big favorite of mine from Missouri River Soaps. This is Caramel Apple, and it's juicy apples, creamy caramel, smooth vanilla, and warm spices. It's basically Cider Lane, and these round ones are so hard to open. she has such a good cider lane oil. This one, it's one of the best cider lane oils I've run across, and it's just mouth-watering. And her wax performs so well. I'm really gonna miss her. It was a little bit more pricey, but you didn't have to use a ton, and it lasted a long time. So glad I still have a few of those. Another blend that I absolutely love is from Teddy Bees, and it's Witches Be Crazy, and this is birthday cake, pecan waffles, sugar cookie dough, and a pinch of cinnamon spiced vanilla. As you can see, I didn't get to actually get into this that week, but it's one of my favorite blends from her, and I love it when she has all the different things blended together, whether it's strawberry pound cake or blueberries or Palo Santo or whatever. It's just, if you ever see something Witches Be Crazy with something or it on its own and you like bakery, I definitely would say give it a shot. Oh, it still smells so good. I'm going to enjoy this a lot this fall. I did have a loaf, but I have used so much of it already. And I made the mistake of not ordering some when she had it in a pre-order earlier this year. So hopefully I have enough to last until she offers it again. I didn't get to melt this either that week, and I had a sticker accidentally stuck to here, so the labels didn't show up this bad, but this is also from Missouri River Soap, and it's cinnaberries, it's sugared raspberries, juicy orange, cinnamon, clove, and vanilla. This was mainly in there just for like some holiday options for scents. And it's that typical kind of craft story, clove, spiced, cinnamon, but there is a little bit more of a sweetness. I do actually get the raspberry on cold, and I have not melted this one yet, so I don't fully know what it turns out to be. This was in the blend because I wanted some, in the bin, not blend, because I wanted some coffee options for that week, and it had birthday cake, so I thought, well, that seems appropriate. This was a jack-o'-lantern from L3, and it's espresso, birthday cake, and sugar cookie. The espresso oil isn't really my favorite. Sometimes it's a kind of burnt, bitter to me. But this smells nice. It's actually really all that I'm getting, with just a little hint of a bakery note in there. So we'll see how it melts. But I found I prefer some of the other coffee oils from L3. Speaking of coffee, this was something Crystal also sent me, and this is from Ranch Handmade. They are an Etsy store, and this is Cafe Mocha. I don't really have scent notes on it, and I need to actually rebag this. They're super cute, these big coffee bean shapes. The only thing with this wax is, and it's really pretty, it's a shimmery wax pool, but there is like this thick sludge afterwards of the mica, and it'll take several paper towels and stuff for me to clean it out of my warmers. So that's one of the downsides, but it really is a beautiful, beautiful wax pool. So shimmery. I did not melt this one particularly, but I did melt some of the other coffees from this vendor, and I enjoyed them. This one just smells like a sweet coffee with a hint of chocolate. Alright, and then another one I did not get to was from the Pharmacist's Daughter. This is also another one Crystal sent me, and this is Mint Mallows, and it's Peppermint Patty Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. It smells really good. It's definitely that chocolate peppermint note, and then the perfumey, sweet marshmallowiness of Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. I'm looking forward to melting this. I think it'll be a good winter scent because there's that coolness of the peppermint. Honestly, it probably could be melted any time of the year. And I actually get a lot of melts out of these packs. So they make them a pretty good, pricing as far as the amount of wax you get. And how cute it is. The pink and white and green. I did not get to melt that one yet. All right, let's see. All right, I think everything else in here I did get to melt, and I have my empties setting off to a side so that y'all wouldn't see all of them. All right, let's dive into the things that I did not finish, but that I did melt some of. This is from Southbound, and this is blueberry pecan waffles, and it's blueberry pecan waffles covered in maple syrup and brown sugar. This is fantastic. This is one of my all-time favorite bakery scents. And I know you can get blueberry pecan waffles from other vendors, but I've tried several, and this one is the one I still keep coming back to. It's the best one that I have tried so far, and it performs exceptionally well. I believe this bag has got to be 2 years old, maybe more. These are her bakery bags, and they're full of shapes. They're so much fun. This is a huge shape, as you can see. It's a little bit, older looking, but I anticipate this still performing really well. I plan on melting some soon once it starts cooling down here. And she did finally offer this recently in a pre-order, and I got 2 loaves, y'all. I just have been hoarding this last piece. I did let myself melt it last time on my birthday week, but then I only had this left afterwards, and I was like, I have to hold on until she offers it again. So oh, it's so good. You definitely get the buttery golden waffle. Like that butter is melted into all those little squares of the waffle. And then there's this blueberry compote on top. And it's just so delicious. And the toasty pecans, like they've been sprinkled across the top, and maybe some of them are mixed into the waffle, and you're just eating your breakfast, and it's just so good. And this performed incredibly well. Every time I've melted this, it's lasted a long time. I can't remember exactly how long, but it's above average. I would say, I got 8 to 10 hours out of it, okay? And the throw has been exceptional. I would say 8, 9. There was no struggle at all smelling it. Just wonderful, wonderful blend. Now you do have to like bakery probably, and you need to like blueberry because the blueberry is dominant in here. But if you like those things, then I would definitely give this one a try. Next up from Salt Mountain Melt is Rocky Mountain Christmas, and this is fresh balsam, sugar cookies, and buttercream. I got this from, I can't remember, pre-order or an RTS last fall, and I melted a little bit. I can't remember if I actually melted this during my birthday week or if it was the week before with Christmas, but I think I did melt a little bit in just like a tea light, or not a tea light, just a little warmer, like in one small area of the house, so I didn't use a lot of it. This is such a good blend. I love balsam, and I used to hate all the tree scents like balsam, spruce, pine, fir, the Christmas tree. I just did not like them, but sometime last fall, they suddenly started smelling good to me, and I didn't have a ton of blends going into last fall and winter that had tree scents in them. So I definitely had to rectify that for this year, and I'm really excited to melt a bunch of like evergreen type scents. This is so good. I think spruce and balsam are my favorite out of those. And on cold, you really only get the balsam, but once it's melted, you do get a little bit of that vanilla buttercream and the vanilla just kind of golden cookie note. The balsam's still dominant, but this is just such a good blend. She offered it recently in a pre-order, and of course I got more. And the performance on that is fantastic. It's been such a long time. It's been months since I melted that, but the longevity of it was good, and the throw, it was very strong. I would say it was a 9 out of 10 probably, because it was very, very strong. Like, as you can see, I only had to use a tiny bit and one warmer, and I could smell it through the whole open concept area. All right, another one from Salt Mountain Melts is Milk and Cookies for Santa, and this is eggnog, Mrs. Claus's cookies, and sugar cookies. And I got a loaf and a souffle of this last year. This is probably the most authentic eggnog scent that I have smelled. There's a sweet creaminess to it without the eggy note, and melting it, oh, it's so good. It's a little sweeter than what I normally would reach for, but I still like it. And I initially thought, just melt the souffle, you might not like it, and just de-stash the loaf. But no, I decided to keep the loaf, and I'm going to be melting that a lot this Christmas. She did recently offer this one again. Yeah, you definitely get the nutmeg note too, and I really like nutmeg. It's one of my favorite spices. I like cinnamon a lot, but nutmeg, there's just something about it. Like, oh, if you've never tried nutmeg in your oatmeal, give that a try. If you like oatmeal. If you don't like oatmeal, don't try it. But nutmeg in the oatmeal with some butter, a little brown sugar, and a little bit of milk is just so delicious. And yeah, I would definitely reorder this. I felt like I didn't need to get another loaf of this just because a little bit goes a long way. And while I do like this scent, it's not something I would melt every day, but I would get this again. Let's see, strength of it. This performed really well. It lasted. Again, her wax almost always has great longevity. And then it was probably an 8 as far as strength. All right, let's see if I have any others. All right, here's another L3 one, and this is Virus. And I don't have the scent notes right here, but this is Bartlett pear, pineapple, strawberry, and apple, I believe. And I got this from L3 with, I think it was like a pre-order last fall, and it was for Halloween scents, okay? And I loved this. I actually went back in and got a second bag. So this is my second bag of this from last fall. And I think there was only like one bag left. I don't know why more people don't talk about this, because this is such a good fruity scent. I think it would be great in combinations like this and Cookie Therapy, Don't Cross Streams. Like, there's so much I feel like that has potential with this blend. It is just so delicious. It was really strong when I melted it, and just probably one of my favorite just straight up fruity scents that I have melted. I say on warm and on cold, the first thing I get is the pear. And pear to me is just such a sweet, almost like a clear, syrupy liquid that has this essence in it. Sorry, the cats are decided to play with bubble wrap. Hopefully they'll... let me go stop that. I don't want them to chew on plastic. Sorry about that. The box was underneath some bubble wrap, and my cat wanted the bubble wrap moved so that he could sit on top of his favorite box. So he's happy now. I don't know where I was in the middle of this. Pear. So the pear is the dominant thing that I get from here, and you also get the apple, and I get the strawberry with just a hint of the pineapple. The pineapple is not very dominant. I found that I don't love pineapple in wax that much. I love eating it, but in wax sometimes there's just like an astringent sharpness sometimes if the pineapple is the dominant note, and it's not in here. So it just complements everything, and you get that sweet strawberry note and then the beautiful sweetness of the pear and the apple together. And just honestly, beautiful, beautiful scent. I don't know why this is not a super popular scent. It's definitely a repurchase for me. I will probably use this up this fall. There is, even though there's pear and apple and strawberry and pineapple, and it may sound like a summery scent, you definitely can melt it during the summer. This was really good to break up the heavy bakery and spice and tree scents last year. And there's something about it that just makes it fit really well in the fall and the winter to me. When I think about pear, and I think I was trying to talk about pear before I got interrupted. Pear to me is one of those scents that there's some that have more of like a spiced note, but when it's like a straight pear, like this Bartlett pear, it almost makes me think of a singer. And they just have this clear, pure, beautiful voice. And they're singing a cappella. And you can't help but just sit there and be mesmerized with the sound. There's this lyrical quality, and it's just beautiful to the ears. And to me, in fragrance, pear has that same feeling it conjures up for me. There's this lyrical quality, this pure sweetness, and L3 has a fantastic pear oil. I definitely want to do some requests or customs with them at some point, playing around with it, just because pear is so underutilized. But enough about pear and the feels that it gives me, right? Oh, I didn't pull this out. This is different colored brittle. So it's kind of a red and green. And throw was great on this. I would say it was an 8 or a 9. L3 sometimes has a lot of longevity for me, but most of the time I'll get somewhere between 4 to 8 hours with L3. Well, now he's decided to claw up his favorite box. Just a minute. Okay, sorry about that again. We ran out of treats, and I had ordered treats, and they were supposed to be here yesterday, and we ran out, and they're supposed to be here now today, but they're not here yet, and they have been like circling sharks all day asking for their treats because they like getting a few in the morning, and they haven't gotten them, and I don't know. Probably shouldn't give them that many, but they really just get so excited. One of our cats, if he's going to get maybe a little piece of a biscuit or some bacon or something from us or some treats, he will just get so happy. He will start purring in anticipation of what he's about to get. And you know, when you love them, you just want to make them happy. And I know he's a very food motivated creature, and that's one way he feels love from us. So it like hurts to know that like they feel like, why aren't you giving us this? You always give it to us, and why are you ignoring it? And why won't you share the treats you always give with us? They don't understand that we're out of them, you know. But hopefully he will forget. He's a very forgiving little guy. And hopefully the treats will be here soon. Otherwise, you might not hear from us again, because they know where we sleep. Alright. I don't remember where I was on this. I'm so sorry, y'all. Great scent. I will get more of this. Alright. Oh, I've been hoarding this tiny little bit down at the end of the bag, and I will probably melt this fall just because I love this blend. And this is from Teddy B's, Over the Hill and Through the Woods, and it's Christmas trees and cream blended with warm apple cider. Now, Christmas Trees and Cream is a house blend that Tiffany makes, and it is, I believe, like a Christmas tree pine scent with vanilla buttercream. I can't remember the exact notes, but it's something along that, and waffle cone, I believe. It's really good on its own, but where it shines is so good with blends. And this was a new blend from her last fall. I don't know why I didn't get more. I only got a souffle, and I didn't melt it before the RTS, so I should have picked up more, but I just didn't at that time. So when it came to Christmas, I had started melting this, and I fell head over heels for this one. And she hasn't poured it since. Folks, request this one, so those of us who love it can have it, and you should give it a try. The apple cider note is not super spiced. It adds a really nice sweetness to the rest of the blend. When it's melted, you only get a tiny hint of the waffle cone. You mainly get that Christmas tree and that vanilla buttercream note, which surprisingly is just so good together. But then there is this like apple cider note, and it's not, like I was saying, it's not like a super spiced cider. It's just like a nice sweet apple note, and this performed really well. I am so sad I don't have more. What else was I gonna say? Okay. It's kind of like the idea of having your Christmas tree and a real Christmas tree that's set up in your house, and you're sitting there drinking a warm glass of apple cider and looking at the fire, but you have a gas fire, so there's not any smoke, it's just warm. It's kind of like that. I just love this scent so much. I know Bernice on Instagram also really loves this scent. So if there's anyone out there who has that and doesn't like it and wants to destash it, message me or her, because I'm pretty sure we will be glad to take it off your hands. Oh, this is another one that Crystal sent me, and it's the Pharmacist's Daughter Winter Rain. It's icy peppermint, sweater weather, and rain. This is magic. I love sweater rain already, but this together is so good. I don't know if other vendors offer something similar, but I had never tried this kind of a blend before. I've been hoarding it. It was perfect before Christmas, and then I think there was a day on the birthday week where I melted this, so I melted it twice. And it was surprisingly cold at one point, well actually both times, but then we had a little bit of rain, and this was just so good with the rain and the chill kind of going on. There's this woodsy note. It's kind of invigorating. The rain from this, there's this aquatic, and then the icy peppermint, and it's just, I can imagine sitting out on the porch of the little cabin, looking out across a valley and seeing the mountains in the distance with the rain kind of making them faint little shadows with this gray veil, if you will, over them and over most of the rest of the valley. But you can see the trees that are right around this porch at the back of your cabin. You're sitting in a rocking chair and looking out across this, and you're smelling the kind of cool, chilly air that's rising up, and there's a patter of rain, and the cold outside and the dampness is making every time you take a breath make your nose tingle a little bit, because it's just a little bit on the cold side, but you're also wearing a sweater, and it's just so pleasant outside that you're not ready to go in. And this scent just takes me back to that feeling in places I've been where I've done that. I need to order more of it. I would definitely get it in a loaf. And I've been hoarding this just to not be out. Next up, these two are from Sassy Girl Aroma, and I melted some before Christmas and then after. This is apple wreath type, and it's green apple, red hot cinnamon, crushed clove, crisp pine needles, and warm cedar wood. And then this is welcome home type, and it's cinnamon notes mingled with plum and apple accords. I don't remember which one we liked a little bit more, but these were really good, just holiday feeling scents. They're definitely that spiced note. If you don't like cinnamon and clove, these are probably not for you. They performed really well. I think one of these, I think this one I may have taken with us to my dad's because we did Christmas at his last year. You definitely get the cinnamon on top, and then there's the sweet apple with just a little bit of depth from the plum, but it's really nice. And I think I have enough to get through this holiday season because you really don't need a lot of this. It's really strong. And then this one had the clove and cedarwood and pine in it. Yeah, this one is really, really good. I'm not sure which one we like more. Obviously, we've used more of this one, so maybe it was this one. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's really good. You get that kind of deep woodsy note with the cedar wood, and then the brighter kind of woodsy note with the pine needle, so it has like that greenery. The clove and the red hot cinnamon are very dominant though, and it is definitely a red hot cinnamon. But it actually works in this. Normally I do not like red hot cinnamon at all, but it's blended really well with all the rest of this. And I think this is a Bath & Body Works type, if I'm remembering correctly, so it's a really nice blend. And you get a little hint of the apple just to kind of break everything else up and bring a little sweetness to it. And it's really the essence of like the Christmas holidays. Next up is Southbound, and this is Love You a Latte, and it's salted caramel lattes, French vanilla, whipped cream, cotton candy, maple sugar, and vanilla bean. And I melted this one morning, and isn't this so cute? These little like coffee with little hearts on them, sprinkles. This was a nice coffee. It was a little bit on the sweet side for me. There's definitely the caramely, mapley cotton candy in there, making it sweet. And I need to melt it again to know if I would actually order it again. But it performed well. The coffee note was not bitter, and I did enjoy it. Another one from Southbound is Sugared Spruce, and this is cassis, spruce, fir needles, and sweet sugar crystals. And cassis is a blackberry wine, I believe, or currant. I think it's blackberry, like a blackberry liqueur. This is so good. I don't know if I have any more of it, but if I don't, I need to pay attention to when she's pouring it and get some more, because this is really, really good for the winter. The spruce is definitely the first thing you get, but you do get the fir as well, and there's a light sweetness. I don't think I really get the cassis in here. It's mainly that evergreen scent with just a hint of sweetness, but great performance. As you can see, I was able to do the whole kitchen, dining, second bedroom, living space, and we have tall ceilings, and it's all open concept with just 2 cubes, so it was really strong. Sorry I keep hitting y'all. Oh, another one from Missouri River Soap is Candied Apple, and this is juicy apples, sweet plums, muddled strawberries, and citrus zest. And this is a, I think it's her version of Winter Candy Apple. But to me, it actually has a little bit more of the strawberry note than the Bath and Body Works version does. So I don't know if she added it. It's really, really nice. I'm sad, like I said, that she is going to be gone because I don't have a lot of this and some of the other blends that I love from her left. So I'm going to be like letting myself periodically use them. This one had good performance. I would say I still like the caramel apple and the apple cider donuts more than I like this one, but it would be a repurchase for me. I forgot to pull this earlier, but I did not actually melt this. This is Scentsy Beach. I've had this bar and I know it's like a mess. Back when I first started melting wax, it was in 2009, and a coworker introduced me to it. She was selling Scentsy, and I wound up getting 2 warmers and a very, very small collection of wax. And at that time, I would melt the wax for a little while, and there would still be scent, and I would pour the wax back in, as you can see, because I didn't want to throw it away, because I wanted to get as much use out of the wax as possible. And this still has scent. This is so old. I don't know if, I know I'd repurchased this scent at one time, but I don't remember if this would be from 2010 or 11, last time I had purchased this. And then I kind of stopped ordering from Scentsy for a while and then got back into it a few years later. And then it really wasn't until sometime in 2020 when I realized that there was this whole other world of wax beyond Scentsy, and kind of started out in Etsy, and then eventually found some of the other vendors off of Etsy. But I've still got this bar, and it's one of my favorite scents from Scentsy. I still love this scent so much, but I can't bring myself to melt the last bit of it because I don't want to be out. And I'm sure they probably have it at some point and bring back my bars, but I don't know when that will be. I haven't seen it in the catalog. I would absolutely repurchase it. I think there's a melon or maybe ocean. I don't really know what the notes to this are, but I just love this, and it conjures up some really good memories with my grandmother, and I just kind of can't let it go and use it. So this will probably forever be in my collection. Isn't that sad? One of those people where if I really love something and it has like a sentimental attachment for me, I have a hard time letting go of it or using that last bit. I think I was watching Lexi from Two Quick Wicks recently, and she was talking about this, and I just found it so relatable that when you really love something, sometimes it's hard to finish the last little bit because then it'll be gone. I feel like that sometimes with TV shows or books, where I'll get down to the last episode or two and then suddenly I'm like avoiding watching the last episode because I don't want it to end, or reading those last few chapters because I don't want it to end. And I eventually do, but I've seen that with a few things in wax where I'm like, oh, I don't want to finish this because then this is the last that I have and I don't want to be out. When reality is, most of these things I know that I can get again, just maybe not right then, and it's okay to finish things. But that's a struggle, I'm sure. I'm sure I'm not the only one that struggles with that. And I don't really know that it's necessarily a bad thing, but it is something I'm trying to work on with myself. Next up is A Walk in the Park, and this is from Paper Crown Candles. And the notes are fallen oak leaves, citrus, and golden amber. Isn't the label nice? This is a vendor from Etsy, and I think I've ordered from her once or twice. I can't remember exactly. And I would definitely order from her again. I ordered last summer, maybe sometime. and I picked out just an assortment of different things. And initially I had tried melting some stuff and it wasn't like super strong, and I hadn't let it cure long enough. And then I came back a few months later and started melting. Great performance, great performance. She has regular sales though, so I think the price of her clamshells has gone up since I last ordered. I would say just pay attention to, she has a website that you can sign up and get a discount code. I think it's like 30 or 25%, something like that, for a first time order. But then she also has regular sales on Etsy, so just kind of pay attention to that because they are pretty a decent sale. And I think normally they're like over $6 for a clamshell. The performance has been great from everything that I've melted, and I would get this scent from her again. I'm not a big amber lover, but this, oh my gosh, this was beautiful. And this is a basket of things that I already knew I liked or thought I would like. So I know I'm saying I loved everything, but this was specifically a basket pick for my birthday for me to melt things that I enjoyed melting. And I hadn't melted this before, but I knew on cold that I liked the scent. And I put this in the bathroom that week, and one cube lasted in that plug-in days. I think it was like 3.5 days. And the first 24 hours, it was coming out of the bathroom into the hallway, even though the door was closed. I think next time I melt this, I'll definitely put it in the main area. I don't know if she offers this still or not, but I really wish she would bring it back because this is just such a good, like, refreshing, fresh fall scent without it being a laundry scent. There is a slight sweetness to it, I think, from the amber. I don't really necessarily get citrus, but I do get a hint of the oak, and then I get the leaves note. And this is not Bath and Body Works leaves. It's not that spiced apple. It's a different leaf oil. I don't know what it is, but I literally do feel like I am outside and there's that cool zip in the air that fall has, and the leaves have changed colors and those leaves are being crushed, and I kind of smell a whole pile of leaves, like you're kind of raking out the yard or sitting there, and I just smell a whole pile of leaves, and it smells amazing. Oh, yeah, definitely gonna have to start melting this once cool weather happens. All right, I don't know where the other one is. It's somewhere. I chopped one of these candles, and then I was burning one of these candles during the Christmas holidays, and I still have some left. This is Bath and Body Works, and it's Cranberry Pear Bellini. I got 2 of these at Candle Day last year, and the scent notes are fizzy pear nectar, sparkling red cranberries, and lush apricot, and tart black currant. I like this scent. The throw on the candle burning it is okay. I'm probably gonna, I probably will pop the rest of this in my candle crock in a few months and see how it performs then. I think it'll do fine, but this is just a really nice fruity blend. I don't think there's a fizzy note in it. I definitely get the tartness of the cranberry, that sweet pear, and there's a little bit of a deeper berry note, which I think is the black currant. I don't know that I necessarily get apricot, but I get the other things, and it's just a really nice wintry fruitiness. I'd also chopped up the other candle of this, and I was melting it in warmers while also burning. Another candle I worked on that week is from one of my favorite vendors. This is Petrichor Paint. They are a small vendor on Etsy, and they make these wood wick candles using coconut apricot wax, and they also have luxury wax melts. Now, I can't remember what the ounce is for the wax melt package. I'll show you in a little bit. It is expensive, and her price has gone up this year, but she does periodically have sales. You do not have to use a lot of the wax. It is beautiful. As you can see, the labels she designed. She's an artist. And if you've not burned a woodwick candle, they are just the most soothing sound, that crackle and pop, almost like a miniature fireplace right next to you. It is so pleasant. I definitely need to order from her again soon because she has some amazing fall and winter scents, and I need to get some because I'm almost done with this candle, and I finished a few others this last year, so I need to restock them for this fall. She always has like little things in the top, whether it's some dried petals, or in this one there's these coffee beans. They're not a fire hazard. You don't need to worry about them. I have not had any issues with them being on the candles. And this is really good. Okay, so this scent was Mint and Mocha Joe. She has a fall blend called Pumpkin Joe, and it's a pumpkin spice latte that is unlike any other pumpkin scent I have tried anywhere. It is so good. And this is her, she's taken that coffee note, the Joe, and added chocolate and mint. So the notes are chocolate, coffee, peppermint, and vanilla. Out of all the candles from her, I feel like this is one of the lighter as far as throw. And it's really better in a small room because this is a small candle. I think this is 8 ounce, I think. You do get a little bit of the coffee, but this is mainly a chocolate and peppermint candle. And I love those together. It's really nice. And the peppermint, I honestly feel like the peppermint could be more present in this scent because I like strong peppermint. But this is more of a subtle peppermint. It's not the nose clearing peppermint, if you will. It's really nice. I would definitely reorder this, but I don't know if she is offering this again this year. So this may be all that I have. I'll just pop that back in here. All right, let's get on to the empties, folks. First up is a scoopable from L3 Waxy Wonders. It's Escape Room, and it's peppermint, whipped cream, and sugar cookie royale. I scraped everything I could out of here. I can still smell it. It's so good. I have since ordered a loaf of this, and this is one of my favorite from any vendor's peppermint bakery scents. Sugar cookie royale is already just a really good bakery note with anything, in my opinion. But with this icy peppermint, oh, it's just magic. And this threw so well. Normally I like to cure my scoops a really long time because then they are just so strong. But I didn't cure this for very long. I think it had maybe 3 months, which is a good amount of cure. But this was very, very, very strong, and it was just delicious. This will be something I want always in my collection. L3 has a great peppermint, and sometimes peppermint bakery will have a little bit too much of a heaviness in contrast to the like invigorating lightness of mint, but not with this one. And I don't really get the whipped cream. I don't know that that's even important in this blend. I just get the peppermint and the sugar cookie royale, and the sugar cookie royale is like just a golden vanilla sugar cookie, and to me it's the best sugar cookie oil out there. Oh, okay, I gotta stop smelling this. All right, so that is one empty, and here are the rest that I finished that week. Since we are on L3, let's talk about the other L3 empties. This is fresh picked strawberries and peppermint. This was a puppy pack, and this was the first time I'd ever tried strawberry and peppermint together. It was fantastic. I would definitely get this one again. I've picked up peppermint and strawberry since in other blends. It's a surprisingly good combination. I don't really have a rationale for it, but there's something really good about that icy peppermint with the sweet berry that strawberry has to offer. And if you like either of those on its own, I definitely say branch out and give this a shot. I can't remember exactly how the performance was on this. It performed well, so I would reorder it, but I can't remember exactly how long it lasted. I think throw was probably a 7 or 8, but I don't remember what the longevity was. Next up, this was a Bitty Betty loaf, Once Upon a Dream, and it's Sleeping Beauty, fresh cut grass, watermelon, and fresh picked strawberries. This was part of my first order from L3, and I love this scent. I don't know where it falls in the ranking of favorites from L3, but it's one that I always want to have in stock. Last summer, I realized that I really liked grass in blends after trying some from the Scented Squirrel. And then I saw this one from L3 and just picked it up on a whim. And this is just so good together. That grassy note plays really well with the watermelon and strawberry. And the fruit is a little bit on that spot where it's straddling candy, straddling like more of like a realistic fruit. But the sweetness with that almost herbal green quality that fresh cut grass has, it just pairs so well together. Since then, I just want to try grass with like everything, just because it's an underutilized oil in my opinion, and so far I have not tried it in a blend with fruit that I have not liked, but this is definitely one of the best ones. And it had good throw and longevity also. I don't remember specifically what it was, but I would say it was probably an 8 on throw. Alright, and the last one from L3 was a loaf in Hufflepuff, and this is fresh baked cookies, sweet cinnamon sugar, and pumpkin pasties. Now, this is a reference to Harry Potter, and I had picked this loaf up sometime last fall, and as you can see, I went through it really fast. This was just so good. This will always be something I want in my collection as well, which is one reason why it wound up in my favorites birthday basket. It is, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a cinnamon sugar cookie, but it's not like a snickerdoodle cookie. There's these cookies that we get at Aldi's, and they only come out around the holidays. And they're a German cookie. It's like a crisp, almost a ginger snap cookie, but they're in these all decorative like shapes. And they're not really heavy on the ginger, but they're just this warming spice in the cookies, and they're fantastic with a cup of coffee. To me, this smells exactly like them. I don't really get pumpkin in here. To me, this is just a wonderful spiced cookie, but the spice is not a harsh spice. It is definitely that sweet cinnamon sugar. It's also really good in blends. I have been melting recently from the Hufflepuff sampler that I've gotten, and I've been surprised at how well it pairs with things like blackberry jam and cookie therapy. Definitely just one of those bakery scents that just is so perfect for the fall and winter. It's very cozy and warming. Next up, I had chopped up a candle from Bath & Body Works, and this is crushed candy cane. I finished the last little bit of it at night. It didn't really perform as well as I had hoped, melting in the warmers. I think since then I've realized I was putting a little bit too much into the warmer, so I would retry that again. I love that scent, but I just wish it was stronger. Then I had one empty from Rose Girls. This is Badger State Cocoa. It's hot cocoa and peppermint and marshmallow smoothie. Around the holidays, if you can't tell, I really love those chocolate peppermint coffee blends. They just feel like sitting there on Christmas Eve to me. Oh, I forgot to talk about this one. Throw was okay. It was like a 7, and I actually did reorder this. This was 2 cubes that she had given to me in an order, and no, this was actually in a big Kahuna's box. So the throw was okay. It lasted, maybe 5 hours or so, but it was really nice. It wasn't too sharp on the peppermint. The chocolate wasn't too sweet, even though it has the marshmallow in there. It was a nice, creamy, sweet, powdery chocolate, almost like the Swiss Miss chocolate, and just a little bit of peppermint, and it was really nice. Several of the mornings I melted some coffee, and this is also from Crystal. This is Ranch Handmade. This is Caramel Macchiato, and I had 2 bags, so I had a shape here and then 2 in here, and they were a little bit of a mess to clean up in the warmers, but they smelled nice. It was definitely a nice sweet caramel coffee. The throw wasn't as good as other coffees, so I would not repurchase this, but I would also give it another chance. I think I have another coffee blend, and I might test it in a hot plate. Not a hot plate. I melted it in a hot plate, but I might test it in a tea light and see if the performance is a little bit better. For a coffee blend, it was about a 6 or so, and I would have preferred it to be stronger. And then the last 2 ones that I'm so sad to part with are also from Petrichor and Paint. And these are some of the wax melts. They come in these little cubes. You really don't need very much in your warmer. This one is Mold and Spiced, and it's apple cider, orange peel, wine, and wood. Oh, this is so good. You definitely get that deep note from the wine in here, and the woodsy note is kind of like an oak note to me. This is one of my favorite scents from her. She is just so good at blending. And yes, these are expensive. They are luxury wax melts. And you may think it's ridiculous to pay that price, but to me, they're worth it. Every now and then I want something that is just really unique smelling, and I don't think anything that she has I can find somewhere else. I don't know where she gets her fragrance oils, but it's not the typical oils that you see being combined in vendor wax. This is just on cold. It smells like that typical spiced apple, but when you melt it, this is just so good. Like I said, the wine and the wood note in there just add this depth and complexity, and it lasts a long time. I was really sad to melt the last bit of it because I'd gotten it maybe a year before, but I wanted to melt it because it was one of my favorites. And another favorite from the same vendor on Etsy is Petrichor and Paint. And this is Plum and Fig. And this is Fig, Plum, Vanilla, and Wood. And there's something about that woodsy note. I think she really likes playing around with it. It just adds this complexity and intriguing note in with the fruit. This is definitely a dark, rich, fruity note, or fruity scent. Perfect for the winter. I'm going to be ordering a candle probably from her in this scent and some more wax melts just because this was so good. I didn't want to finish it. Oh, yeah, it's so good. And her labels, just beautiful the way she has this artwork. I don't know if y'all could see on this one, there's like a orange peel look almost, and then it kind of like a splash of wine has spilled out across it. And then there's these figs. If you like luxury wax melts, I would definitely give her a shot. Message me if you have any questions on favorite scents from her. There's quite a few that I just love from her. October Eves, both of these, Pumpkin Joe. Right now I actually am burning one of her candles. It's Yuletide Tea, and that one is really deep and dark and unique, and it has a hint of bitterness to it. And I have that in the bathroom right now because it is a little candle and it can hold up in a bigger space too. But I put it in there, and then I have a tea light going with just a cube of moon spice cookie from Destination Wax. I literally want to hang out in my bathroom all day today, which is totally impractical, but it smells so good. The moon spice cookie is adding the sweetness to that bitter, dark, spiced Yuletide tea. Oh, it's so good. It smells just amazing in there. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Anyways, I got through, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I had 10 empties that week, which I feel like is actually a pretty good week. We were gone a lot that week. We found out that we've been exposed to COVID that week. It was a fun week. Anyways, this is way long overdue, but now I can kind of empty out my empties and put things away so that the in-laws don't realize that I have wax bottled up everywhere. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Alright. It's okay if I'm the only one, but I feel self-conscious about the amount of wax that I have, I guess. Anyways, once again, thank you for bearing with my rambling and watching. I appreciate you all. Please comment down below if you've tried any of these, or if you are curious about any other information on some of the vendors you haven't tried. And until next time, thank you all for watching.